your employees and your followers actually do not care how much you know, but they want to know how much you care. And once they are sure that you care about them, about their safety, about their well-being, they would go out of their way at any point in time to deliver results for you. People will be more inspired to do more if they can see that what I am doing is making meaning to the organization to which I am contributing.
Morning, want to welcome you to another Seamless HR podcast. We have an amazing guest with a lot of wisdom, skills, and knowledge to share. So we have with us Raphael. I'm going to give him some time to introduce himself. I think the best introduction will come from him. And then we will move on from there. And I'm sure this will be a really amazing discussion that you'll find to be very, very interesting and uplifting. So Raphael, the floor is yours.
Right. Thank you very much. My name is Raphael Akinte, Raphael, and I am an HR professional. I currently work with 7-Up Bottling Company, and I am a resident in Lagos, Nigeria.
Would you consider yourself a great HR leader?
That's a very tough question, right? So my thoughts always is this, right, around being a leader in a space. I feel that for you to consider yourself a leader, you have to not just be a leader in the space of work or around the work you do in the office. For you to say you are a leader in an industry, you need to be a thought leader. So we see a lot of people on LinkedIn now, and then everybody calls themselves HR leader, global leader, this one leader. And I do not necessarily think most of those things are true. In the right sense of the word, I think I have contributed a bit to the HR industry, especially when it comes to developing specific solution to the way things are done, genuine solutions that are crafted from ground. So in that right, I would say I have been a thought leader, and I would say I've been a good HR leader.
Okay. I think a round of applause to you. That is a really good answer.
Thank you.
Yes. Most welcome. And so in your journey of HR leadership, I'm sure you have also, as you come up with new solutions, you have also developed teams to become better, right?
Yeah.
So my question then would be, what comes to your mind, or according to you specifically, what is the definition of a high-performing team?
So I would say a high-performing team is a team that effectively produces results optimally 100% of the time. Now, and that is with or without the person leading the team being present. So a high-performing team is not just a team that does well when their leader is there. A high-performing team will still perform excellently well, either their leader is present or not.
Okay. I like the fact where you said 100%, 100%, optimally 100% of the time, whether or not the leader is there, right?
Yeah.
But the way the market is set up, sometimes there's seasons, sometimes there's this, that, different challenges. So sometimes the team is very high performing, sometimes the performance may go down. How do you navigate those situations in your teams where you're leading? But sometimes I can imagine that the performance is not always 100% of the time. But sometimes it might be 60, so it might be 100 next time. But how do you navigate those cycles within your team?
Okay, so I think one way to do that effectively is to always provide what I would call a psychological safety within the team, right? To let the team understand the fact that at every point in time, if you're able to deliver what is expected of you, or not able to deliver what is expected of you, you have a place on this team. You have a family here. You have somebody you can always come back to discuss challenges, to discuss work issues, to discuss personal stuff. Like you rightly said, it might not be possible for every team to deliver 100% of the time, and that is normal. That is part of living, right? Even in life, you cannot win every time. So you need to be able to make your team to be psychologically safe enough to say, yes, even though we are down this time, we'll look forward to a time where we will be up again and we give over 100% of our time to our efforts and results to compensate for the times missed. So I think the most important thing there would be to be able to provide psychological safety around those cycles when the team is not doing so well, either as a result of shortage in skills or even factors that are beyond their own control. So many things could be responsible for why the team is not optimally performing at a given time, right? So whatever the case may be, you need to be able to provide a psychological safety for the team to say, whatever it is we're going through, we're still a family and we'll still win together, irrespective of what.
I love that. I love that phrase, psychological safety. Let's put a pin on that. We'll come back to it. But
Okay.
just from the previous question, you said one thing. The second thing that you mentioned of a great team is that a team that performs well, whether the leader is there or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So how are you able? Because initially, imagine a team is really dependent on the leader for direction, for just leadership in general, right?
Yeah.
But how then do you help a team grow that they are no longer leadership dependent, but that they can own everything, all the deliverables on their own?
Yeah. Okay, so I would say in my experience and most times when I take leadership classes, one of the things I make leaders generally try to understand is the fact that if you are not able to replicate someone like you on your team, then you are failed as a leader. So your responsibility as a leader goes beyond doing it. You're not even expected to do the job, right? You're expected to be people focused, which means that your primary responsibility as a leader is not even to deliver results. Your primary responsibility is to develop the people so that they can deliver results. So what that means, therefore, is that you should even be out of the equation when it comes to results delivery. You should be focused more on developing the people. So as a leader, at every point in time, your aim should be, I need to take care of my people. I need to develop my people, and knowing fully well that if you're able to do this, if you're either around or not, your team will still deliver 100% of the time. That is what makes a great leader.
And I think also just to add on to that, it also means that if the leadership transition, if the leader moves, or if the leader is just no longer there, but the team can still continue to thrive because of the impact that the leader left. Right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
That's a good point. So I said we put a pin on psychological safety.
Yep.
So just back to high performing teams and how they perform, they're supposed to optimally perform at 100% all the time.
Yep.
How do you create a safety net so that people don't burn out? Yeah.
Okay, so I would say one is to provide let me say a strong and inclusive culture. And what I mean by that is for people to feel safe, for people to can I give very typical examples of the things I do? Okay, so one of the things I do on a regular basis is when I see my team members and I think you're feeling down or you're looking somehow, I would ask you, what's wrong with you? How are you doing? Is there any reason you're looking like this? Do you want to take the rest of the day off? Or do you even want to take the whole of tomorrow off? My team members know that they can walk up to me at any point in time and say, Raphael, I don't feel like coming to work tomorrow because I have a friend who is coming to town and I want to go and spend some time with them. Right? And they know that they can also tell me openly to say, Raphael, I don't feel too good and I think I just need to work from home tomorrow, or I even just want to take the day off. Now, what we have been able to do is to build a culture of trust, to say that I trust my team 100% of the time to be truthful with me, to say exactly what they want to do part time. And the team trusts also that I will not at any point in time judge them or make them feel less of themselves or make them feel unserious by saying they want certain things. So we are open to each other with whatever our request is and how we feel, so to say. So that culture of oneness, of trust building helps the team at every point in time to know that if I feel like I'm burning out, if I feel like I need help, I can talk to my team members and I feel 100% safe, which then comes back to logical safety, right? So it then also goes further to say that there are times I will tell my team members, guys, you know what? We are not going to go home today until this is sorted. Or we might need to work over the weekend just so we get this thing done. They know that you're not doing that from a place of wickedness or from a place of hatred for them, but because there's actually a need to. They trust you enough as a leader to say that if you are asking us to do this, then it means it is very important and we must go all out to do it. So what I would usually tell leaders is that apart from you building trust and a culture of oneness within your team, you must also go beyond, above and beyond to connect to your employees at an emotional level. I will tell you for free that, people will do things more for emotional reasons than functional reasons. That is to say, people will go out of their way to give their best, to go the extra mile for you, so that you will succeed as a leader, not necessarily because they enjoy the stress, but because they do not want you to fail because you have also deposited into their emotional bank account. So it's a two-way thing, right? And that starts from you being able to effectively ensure that your team is safe psychologically, and then you build trust among the team members, between yourself and the team members, so that when they tell you, I think you must have heard of people who can freely tell their bosses that I want to go for an interview, right?
Yeah.
So that is the level of trust they have in the managers. So those kind of people, if the manager tells them, you know what, guys, I need you to come 6 a.m. tomorrow, they would not see any reason why they would not want to do that. And they also know that if I tell my manager that I am actually getting tired, I need some time out, or I need some kind of stress relieving, whatever, my manager will always be there to provide those things for me. So that will help easily erase burnout. One very good thing, a very typical example again, sometimes last year we did a program at the office and then it took my team days and nights to get it sorted. And after the whole thing, I looked at my team, I saw that they were worn out. So I just said, okay, you know what, guys, everybody take spa tickets, go to the spa and get a massage for yourself. So that tells you, yes, please. So that tells you, that makes them feel like even if we're going to get to that point of burnout, we trust our manager enough to know what it is, what is supposed to be done to help us regain our energy, to bring us back on track and things like that.
I think I like what you've said, especially because it brings to mind when people say open lines of communication, it does not necessarily mean you can talk to me, but what it really should mean is that when you speak, it will be heard. When you speak, whatever you say will be considered, it will be taken seriously.
Yeah.
And I see that coming out very strongly from what you're saying. Building a team that trusts you. And also agree with you 100%. But a majority of the time when we do things, we do them for emotional reasons. Like that emotional reason is a strong reason. And it's something that comes as a response from what we have experienced from that particular person. Right?
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah. So
and that is a concept of emotional bank account, right?
Exactly, yes. So I like that. How many members do you have on your team?
Right now, I have 3 members on my team, immediate members that report to me directly.
Okay. 3 members will report to you directly. Okay. So we've spoken about psychological safety and open lines of communication and building trust and having it reciprocated. But for you as a leader, what would you say is a non-negotiable foundation if your team is going to perform, to be a high-performing team?
Sorry, I didn't get that very well. Sorry, I didn't get that clearly.
Okay, let me repeat. So, for your high-performing team, I believe right now your team is a very high-performing team. So, for you, what have you set as the non-negotiables for for your high performing team so that they can continue being high performing?
Okay, so number one is for any team to be high performing and consistently be high performing, they must see the result of what they are doing, right? So you as a leader must be able to create a vision that they can buy into. So there should be clarity of what needs to be done. The vision needs to be clear so that those that see it can run with it. So the people need to understand this is exactly what we expected to deliver. So I would usually tell people that for you as an individual or as a team to be high performing, there are 3 H factors that are responsible. There is what we call the head, the heart, and the hands. Now, the head talks about clarity of information, clarity of purpose, clarity in whatever needs to be done. The hand talks about the requisite skills that are necessary for the person to be able to do the job or for the team to be able to perform. And then the heart talks about the willingness to be able to do those things. So if you can take care of these 3, for example, within your team, it would automatically put you on a path of say sustained optimal performance. So first, therefore, is clarity of anything that needs to be done. The vision must be clear. The people must know exactly what they need to deliver. People should not have to second guess why you as a manager have rated them the way you have rated them. So if you have said that what you have done at the end of the year, then it should be very, very, very clear to them that exactly, I know that this is what I've actually done. So smart goals need to be set. And then there should be clarity in communication also, right? So when people do things, they want to also get feedback. So you as a manager, for you to consistently ensure that your team is high performing, then there should be a 2-way system of communication or feedback mechanism that allows you to consistently help your team to grow and develop, and then also allows your team to provide you feedback on what can be done better to help the team. So one thing I do say on quarterly basis or even say every 2 months is for every member of my team, I call them and check with them. How far are you doing? What's going well? What's not going well? And what do you think we're doing or not doing well that one affects you personally or affect the team performance? So I get feedback, and sometimes the things you do not even think about, right? There's what we call the blind spots, right? The things you do not even know about yourself, but others know about you, could be affecting the team or could be affecting the work. And it is from this open communication feedback mechanism that helps you to actually see those things, and then you actively try to work to improve on them. And then the last I would say would be you need to be accountable, or you need to make sure that the team and know that they are accountable for everything they are expected to do or they are expected to deliver. Make people so I usually give this example very well, right? I had a GT on my team at a point in time, and at some point in time she was getting like I don't even know what I'm doing on this team, and it's looking like I'm not doing as much. So I told her, Madam, calm down. So what is happening right now is that you are on a learning curve. When you get to the point where you begin to be held accountable for specific deliverables, then you would know yourself. And now she's a well-balanced employee because she now has something she's doing. She knows I am accountable for this. So that accountability culture needs to be ingrained in teams. And when properly ingrained, people will notice what I'm expected to deliver. I don't need to be reminded. I don't need to be told, and they will be able to continue to deliver. And the last but not the least, just like what I said earlier, is that your team need to completely trust you. They need to be sure that my manager at any point in time will not throw me under the bus. So that even if I make a mistake, I am confident that my manager will stand in the gap for me. One of the hallmark great leaders that have led and are leading high performing teams is the fact that no matter what happens to their team or to their team members, they would always stand in the gap for them. You can come back and quarrel with your team and argue with them and punish them when necessary. However, you should never allow an outsider, irrespective of who the person is, to penetrate within your team and punish them on your behalf or speak to them anyhow on your behalf or do some kind of thing to them on your behalf. So you should be able to jealously guard your team. So when the team sees that we can freely do things and make honest mistakes, it leads to innovation. It leads to them wanting to go above and beyond, wanting to try new things and effectively becoming a high performing team.
Thank you. Can I sum up what you've said in 2 sentences and let me know if it sounds correct?
Okay,
So from
that's
everything
fine.
that you've said, for you, the non-negotiables are: 1, your team members must take pride in their work. And
Yes.
secondly, they must be able to trust you as their leader.
Yes.
Without those 2 things, something somewhere will fall. A ball will drop somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
That's correct?
Yeah, correct. There are others here and there, but these are 2 majors here.
Yes. I just have one final question.
Okay.
I know I've summarized for you what you said previously, but have you written a book by any chance?
I've been struggling with doing one. I've actually been struggling with doing one.
Okay.
No, I've not.
All right. When you write it, please mention this podcast that we asked and we motivated you to write a book.
Okay.
We'll see. So my question is, if you had a playbook, or you already have a playbook, I imagine, I'm sure, and you had to condense everything into 3 rules, everything in your whole HR performance that you give to a new HR manager, say you tell them do these 3 things and you will succeed. What would those 3 things?
3 things. Playbook, right? So I would say the first one for me would be understand your team. Understanding your team means that, or just like saying know your team, like KYC, know your customer. So this time, know your team. Know your team is saying that you must, as a leader, do whatever it takes to connect to every individual on your team on a personal basis. While it is good for you guys to meet together, to talk, to gist, and the rest of them, there is always something that is personal to certain individuals, but that makes meaning to them. So you must be able to understand and know those things. Now, why that is great is because your employees and your followers actually do not care how much you know, but they want to know how much you care, right? And once they are sure that you care about them, about their safety, about their well-being, they would go out of their way at any point in time to deliver results for you. So that's one. Number 2 will be for you to commit to growth and development of your team. Now, nobody has come to the organization or to any workplace for the purpose of just working or for charity's sake, right? Everybody wants to have a clear mind or a clear end in sight to say, what is in this for me? What do I stand to gain working for this organization? So you must be either you're in HR or not, you as a leader must be the first HR manager of your employee. You must help them safeguard their career, consistently talk to them about it, help them develop, help them grow, and show them the path to greatness the best way you can. Coach, mentor, whatever it is you need to do as a leader. Once you're able to do this, the employee knows that with this person, I am safe or my career is safe, and they would be willing to go out of their way to do the utmost for you. You would not see them being disengaged, so to say. They would want to, I'm sure you probably have had bosses you worked with before, and if they move to another organization and they ask you to join them, you wouldn't think twice, you would go. So that is the kind of thing you should be able to build, because you trust them completely to say that this person will look out for my growth and my aspirations beyond just the workplace. And then the last but not the least, is to tell any leader or any manager that impact is utmost. While it is possible for people to do a lot, there is what we call the difference between effectiveness and efficiency, right? Efficiency and effectiveness. Um, Activities are good. People feeling in the moment are great. However, results are better. So people would really love to see the impact of what they are doing on the organization, right? People will be more inspired to do more if they can see that what I am doing is making meaning to the organization to which I am contributing, is making meaning in the society. So what that simply means is that you as a manager, it's your responsibility to create meaningful work, impactful result, and guide your team to consistently deliver on them. Once you're able to do these three, your team will consistently be high performance.
Have you considered being an university lecturer?
Maybe my life.
I think it'd make a really good one.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So now last. No, I had said previously it's the last question.
Okay.
But I just have one more question. There are a lot of good teams out there, right? And there are a lot of great teams out there, right? So from you, I want to eliminate the bad teams, just the good ones and the great ones. What do you think is the difference between a good one and a great one?
So I would say that for a team that is good is a team that just does what is expected of them, right? But a team that is great is a team that goes far and above, that is beyond what is expected, and team members would consistently want to be in each other's space. So it goes beyond just delivering results. It's also saying that, so a good team can also deliver results or deliver a result that is far and above, right? But what then makes a great team is now the bond, the psychological safety, the family coherence that exists within the team, such that at any point in time, if any member of the team is exited, it would look like a puzzle is missing. A team that would consistently say, no matter what happens, we are consistently there for each other. I'll give an example. While I was at Accenture, right, one of my bosses then, the very first major consultants that managed me, her name is Ejiro. So I remember her name till today. That was over 12 years ago, because she was really a great leader and she created a great team. We were working on a project and then we could not finish on Friday. And she said, guys, we need to come on Saturday for us to do this because we need to deliver it by Monday morning. It's a deliverable that is required by the CEO on Monday morning. And so all of us came on Saturday. We did the work, and by the end of every time we're doing checks. And by the end of the day, she said, okay, guys, thank you all for coming. Let me just quickly do a quick check. And when she checked, she noticed that there was a problem. And that was almost 7 p.m. Saturday. And she said, you know what, guys? We have a problem. Somebody had made a mistake. And so that means we would need to come again on Sunday. Nobody argued. Nobody said anything. We just said, okay, that means, so we just tried to find out among ourselves. So who made a mistake? This and so. Anyway, we don't have a choice. We still have to come and get this thing deleted. That is a great team. A team that will stand in the gap for each and every member of the team, irrespective of who they are, what they contribute or what they did not contribute. That is a great team. A good team can deliver results, but a great team goes beyond just delivering results. They also deliver people values.